I'm trying to decide whether to give you something a bit more serious. You know, I wanted to reel you in with something funny, but maybe I'll give you something a bit more serious. All right, this one is from a short story called Tricky. Out of the swinging sunlight, I found a seat on the bus. Through the window, there was a girl, or something in a girl's body, in school uniform. Like a fruit picked and forced to ripen before its time, she was ready on the outside, but more than likely to be sour on the inside. For what could a girl her age know about the world but what she felt obvious? She shouted. He responded as if Tricky were a choker chain he wore that she tugged. Facing her, he spread his legs in jeans that fell off, folded his arms in a shirt he had to pull up to adjust the jeans, and bit one side of his bottom lip. We had the same skin color, that of a leather belt I'd received as a gift, which caused me to wince when I first smelled it. It was a color that, although brown, was called red, and often followed by man to create a new name van men, minibus drivers and conductors like Tricky would call out to try to get my $1.50 back when bus fare was $1.50.
Bus fare was $1.50. What?
In all other visible ways, he was my opposite. My hair was just long enough to lie flat. His hair, plaited in rows, resembled kernels on a roasted corn. He looked down when standing. I looked up and curved forward because, although the space in this world allotted me was inadequate, I'd been forced into it anyway. The components of my face together garnered reactions of disinterest or disgust. Most people have successfully learned to hide their shame for ugly people in this way. He was beautiful. His face with its monuments that local tourists came to see and tended to observe in silence, as if wearing white socks to their knees, holding an SLR camera and standing in National Heroes Square. Now, I'm gonna just conclude with a dream. Alright, I do not know how many of you know Jamaica Kincaid and her relationship with her mother, but I have had tumultuous relationship with my mother, and it doesn't mean that I hate her. It's just facts.
Amen.
Okay?
Fucking man.
So I'm just saying that because people think that I hate my mother because of what's gonna follow, but I don't hate her. It's just how things are. All right. That night I had a dream. I remember. I don't want to read this. I was walking along a road with my mother. It was a long and winding road, and although flat, I strained to move along it as if it were on a steep incline. She went on ahead, leaving me to toughen up behind. When I arrived at the tree whose fruit she wanted me to pick for her, she was already there, fists akimbo to remind me how vexed she is, but especially when she doesn't immediately have her way. I lowered my head to avoid looking at her face, knowing it was raining fire on me.
Darn.
The dunks tree was heavily laden with fruit. Many bird pecked, a sign they were sweet. But when I reached up to pick them, a sudden breeze would push them out of reach. I dared not look at my mother. Then, for no easily imaginable reason, I reached some dunks plums between two branches. As I withdrew my arm, my shirt got caught on some of the many thorns. The more I struggled to free myself, the more ensnared I became, until I was pierced all over and unable to move. My mother, upon seeing this, disappointed by my inability to please her even in the little things, turned her back towards me and floated away. I opened my mouth to cry out to her, but black ants emerged, ready to fight like ants do when their nest has been disturbed. Until then, I hadn't realized they'd resided inside me, fill in the cavities previously occupied by my vital organs. That's it.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm sorry to have brought the party down. Maybe the DJ can like bring us back up. But I wanted to give you a bit of something serious, right?
Wow.
After the jokes.
Wow.
I got a funny one if I get to read later that I'll read for you, okay? Another funny one, alright?
Thank you. Bro.
Thank you for listening. And My Sister's Voice by Martin Boyce. You can find it online. It's on Amazon. It's on a couple of places. And you can also find it here.
Couple of places like what?
Absolutely. Like the secret garden.
Thank you.